Her children knew where she was. They would come up the hill when they did not see her or go to their grandmother's. She never woke up suddenly here, even when the three of them screamed her name. Claudine! The boy, with his glum face turning cloudier, and the girl and the little boy looking hungry. 3 of them. In the beginning, she had bathed them and oiled their skins in coconut and dressed them in the wildest and brightest of colors and played with them and showed them off to the other inhabitants of the place. Then they were not good to play with anymore. They cried and felt her hands. They cried for the roughness of her hands and the slap. If he was there, he would either say, "Don't hit them," or, "Why don't you hit those children?" His ambiguity caused her to hesitate before each decision on punishment. Then she decided not to touch the children, since either instruction he gave in an angry and distant voice, and for her the two had to be separate thoughts, clear opposites. So after a time, the children did not get bathed and dressed, and after a time, they did not get beaten either. The people around spoke well of him, described his physical attributes, which were, in the main, 2 keloidal scars on his chin and face. The scars meant that he was afraid of nothing. When he came, he told them of his escapades on the bigger island, like the time he met the famous criminal, Weapon, and he and Weapon spent the night drinking and touring the whorehouses and the gambling dens, and Weapon stuck a knife into the palm of a man who touched his drink. He brought new fashions to the place, the wearing of a gold ring on his little finger, and the growing of an elegant nail to set it off. The men, they retold his stories until he came with new ones. They wore copper rings on their little fingers. If she wasn't careful, they would come into the house and tell her what to do again. The shacks up and down the hill were arranged like spiders crawling toward her. One strong rain and they'd be inside of her house, which was not at the bottom of the hill, so there was no real reason to think that it will actually happen. Looking at them, the other people, she saw they made gestures toward her as they did to each other, to everyone else. They brought her things and she gave them things and they never noticed, nor did he, that she was not her mother's child, nor her sister's sister, nor an inhabitant of the place, but the woman turning into a tree. They had pressed her with their eyes and their talk and their complicit winks, first into a hibiscus switch, then into a shrub, and now this, a tree. He didn't live there. The dirt path beside the house ran arbitrarily up the hill. Whenever he came, he broke a switch with which to scare the children. This was his idea of being fatherly. Coming through the path, he made his stern face up to greet the children and the woman. He came and went, and the people in the place expected her to be his. They assumed this as they assumed the path up the hill, the steady rain in March. He is a man, you're a woman. That's how it is. Those times, not like the first, he will sit on her bed like a piece of wood, his face blunt in the air, dense and unmoving. He had no memory. Almost like the first, his breathing and his sweat smelling the same hurried thickness as before, like something which had walked for miles with rain falling and insects biting, the bush and trees slapping some green and murky scent onto its body, a scent rough from years of instinct and horrible. Now he grew his fingernails and splashed himself with cheap scent, but sometimes when he lifted his arm, she recalled and forgot quickly. And sometimes she saw his face as before, always in and out of seeing him and not seeing him, or wondering who he was and disbelieving when she knew. Those times he will sit on her bed and tell her about a piece of land which his maternal grandmother had left him. He was just waiting for the day that they built the road across San Souci, and that was the day that he was going to be a rich man. It was good agricultural land, he said, and only a road was holding it back. He went on about how he will work the land and how he was really a man of the earth. She listened, even though she knew that his mouth was full of nonsense. He had said that for the last many years. How many? Was he the same as the first? Somehow she had come to be with him, not if he was the first, not him. His hands...